Each year, right around Thanksgiving, nonprofit organizations reach out to their supporters. Of course, we communicate with them regularly throughout the year with updates on our work, quarterly newsletter, email blasts, consistent social media posts telling our backstory of our successes. After all, it's their money that's making all this happen. Some donors make very large gifts in the thousands of dollars. A smaller number make smaller gifts in the hundreds, but most of our donors make small gifts under $100. If you can imagine all these gifts stacked up into a pyramid, smallest gifts at the bottom, mid-sized gifts in the middle, and just a few very large gifts at the top, that is our giving pyramid. And this is good. Everybody's giving at the amount that feels right for them. We're not an organization that squeezes our donors. We don't say, hey, it's great you're giving us money, but it's not enough. And we also don't say, you gave us money in March, but now it's November. Can you give us more? Instead, we communicate our needs. Hopefully there are no surprises. Who wants to give money to an organization that might go bankrupt? Yet so many nonprofit organizations do say, help us keep our doors open. And if we don't get 100 more pledges now, we might not be able to continue our services. That's not us. We are stable. We're not about to go out of business. In fact, we plan in advance for our needs, and that's why we're asking for support. We have great things ahead of us. Look at what we've done so far. Our Phonathon is an extension of our commitment to communicate with our sponsors, with our donors. Now, there's a rule in fundraising that we thank people more frequently than we ask for something. How would you like it, even if it's the greatest nonprofit out there? They do fantastic work. You only hear from them once a year. Hello, it's been 12 months since you last gave, and now give again. We want to hear about the good work. We want to celebrate the successes and feel a part of that success. The great visual on this is my hand. There is a difference between shaking a hand, thank you, and turning it upward, give. As much as possible, we need to separate these two things when we communicate with our donors. We thank them, and then separately, we ask them for more support. 4 times a year, our donors get our newsletter. There are heartwarming stories, photos of families we help bring together, profiles of young people who found their passion and stability in life and have overcome traumas of their childhood. Our donors see what the support can yield. They might attend a workshop or attend a special event fundraiser. Throughout the year, they see our social media posts and tweets and email blasts. If we're doing it right, we are thanking them all year with consistent communication about our work. So now the phone rings, and here you are, but you're not a paid telemarketer. This is not a sales call. We are parents and youth and volunteers and staff. We are the direct agents of this organization. Not only do our donors want to hear that we are well, they want to know that our programs are strong. It's our job to give them a few minutes of direct connection with the organization. And for most of them, it's the most memorable and personal contact that they'll have with this organization all year. This is why I love phonathons. We are the ambassadors of our organization. If you're shy, this might not be the best use of your energy. It requires an openness to really introduce yourself and listen to the person that you're calling. Universities do this very well. They recruit current students to call alumni, people who have fond memories of walking across campus, studying late in the library, attending a home game, and the students start out with a slice of their own life. Hi, my name is Jenny, and I've just come from basketball practice. I'm calling to ask you to participate in our homecoming campaign. My goal is to sign up 10 alums tonight. Another example, my name is Jerry, and I'm on a scholarship. I'm studying political science, and I love it here. Gifts to the scholarship fund make a difference, certainly in my life. We're calling alumni tonight to ask for help, to add 10 more scholarships in the future. And you can bet the university segments its calling lists. In other words, they have the sports student calling alumni who played team sports while they were in college. They track that. It's in their record. And then they give Jenny the records to call. Scholarship students, many of whom are required to make these calls as part of their financial aid package, it's their work-study job. They appeal to almost all alumni because once you have your degree and you go out into the world, you want to support others who are having a hard time getting there. You get the idea. So here's my phone script, the one I use. Remember, I fostered and adopted my children through SCFFAA. I'm calling other parents who know the agency well. They've traveled the same path. Hello, my name is John, and I'm calling from Southern California Foster Family and Adoption Agency. Is Anita there? Pause. Oh, hi, Anita. My husband and I fostered and adopted our 2 kids through the agency, and I'm volunteering today to make calls to other families who are doing the same. We're running an end-of-the-year campaign to raise $30,000. Pause. Basically, we're trying to raise 100 gifts between $30 to $5,000. This funding will allow us to close out the year successfully. I'm sure you know a lot about the agency's programs. Well, this funding goes a long way and helps a lot of people, including me. Pause. You fostered 1 child, right? Or whatever detail we might have in the record about that file. That begins the conversation. And you listen. Now, if they say, I don't have time to talk right now, say you'll try later. If they say, I don't have any money, I really can't, say, no problem. I just wanted to let you know that we've launched the campaign and invite you to take part. Now, if they say, never call me again, promise you never will, and get that information to me right away. Really, none of these are cold calls. These are all supporters of our organization. They've all written a check or put down their credit card or given us money in some way. You really should never encounter conflict. Let's listen to a possible conversation made by a young person who's participated in our programs. Now, remember, they'll be calling only people who supported the youth in transition programs. In other words, these people will be thrilled to hear from the youth that they've helped. Hello, my name is Terry, and I'm calling from the Southern California Foster Family and Adoption Agency. Is Bob there? Pause. Oh, hi, Bob. I'm one of the youth who's come through the agency's Youth in Transition program. I'm volunteering today to make calls to people who've supported the program. We're running an end-of-the-year campaign to raise $30,000. Have you heard about it? Pause. Basically, we're trying to raise 100 gifts ranging from $30 to $5,000. This money will allow us to close out the year successfully. I'm sure you probably know a lot about the Youth in Transition program. Well, the funding goes a long way and it helps a lot of people, including me. Pause. When did you first learn about SCFFAA? Or whatever detail you might have in the record about that donor. These are conversation starters, simple as that. The details about how much they want to give, or if they're going to give on the website to make a donation or send a check, you can walk them through all those options. The key is bridging any anxiety on either side of the phone call in the first 30 seconds or so. These are members of our agency's family. So while you may not know them personally, we have all bought into the same concept that these programs work. And the power of you volunteering is that you are the proof. One more scenario, a call from an employee. Hello, my name is Roy, and I'm calling from Southern California Foster Family and Adoption Agency. Is Lynn there? Pause. Oh, hi, Lynn. I'm a social worker with the agency, and I'm volunteering today to make calls to people who've supported SCFFAA. We're running an end-of-the-year campaign to raise $30,000. Have you heard about it? Pause. Basically, we're trying to raise 100 gifts, ranging from $30 to $5,000. This money will allow us to close out the year successfully. I'm sure you know a lot about the agency's programs. Well, this funding goes a long way and helps a lot of people. As an employee, I get to see these successes up close. Children finally finding a safe and loving home. Youth who were aging out of the system, learning to take control of their lives as young adults. Thank you for your support of our work. Pause. When did you first learn about SCFFAA? Or what other detail we might have in the record on that donor? So you see, these calls are about relationships, not donations. We're seeking participation in our campaign, not the largest gift that they could possibly make at this moment. In fact, many donors make what we call restricted gifts throughout the year. They write Youth in Transition on the memo line of a check or in a letter with their donation. Every dollar goes to that program by law. This campaign, it's for the general fund. It's not as exciting for some people, but when they hear the explanation, they get it. This helps us to pay the electricity bill. It buys paper for the printer, pizza during training classes for new parents. Every organization must find this money, and this campaign is not about digging deep. It's about participation. It's about saying, yes, I will give money for these things because I believe it's important. Also, by the way, to the extent that you're comfortable sharing why the agency means something to you, practice it. It should be short and impactful. I almost didn't have children because I thought it was impossible. Now I have 2 kids in elementary school, and I'm learning about verbs and nouns and adjectives all over again. Or an employee might say, I could work anywhere, but I choose to work here because I see it in the eyes of the kids when they find safety and love in their homes. Or for youth, I was homeless and I really thought nobody was on my side, but now I'm surrounded by support and smiles and encouragement. Let's talk for a moment about baggage. Many of us, for various reasons, hate to ask for money. It makes us feel bad. We get nervous that the other person will be offended or that we'll look greedy. It's really important for all of us to put that baggage to the side. And here's how you do it. You are not asking for money for yourself. Our homeless youth are not going to pick up the phone and call for help. The toddler and the second grader in a dangerous living situation is not able to ask, so we do it. I personally feel honored to be a part of this agency because it allows me to do something real for people who need it. There's so many people asking for my money, especially at the end of the year. Stores want me to buy. Every nonprofit wants me to send a check. My email box is overflowing with click here, give me $5, or give me $10, or give me $10,000. Our organization does it right. We turn dollars into very positive outcomes for children and youth. When I ask if you want to make a donation, I know you want to. It's my job to cut through the chaos of this constant solicitation from every corner of our lives. This is not a sales call or a high-pressured telemarketing situation. Well, if you can't give $100 tonight, could you give $50 tonight? I hate those calls. Could you give us $5 tonight? These are the desperate voices of underpaid boiler room dialers who only get paid if they raise money. We must set our calls apart from that type of solicitation. We're real people. We're engaged with a real organization doing real work. Our donors should hear that in our voices and in our stories. They want to give, we want to help them. As you can tell, we are all ambassadors. Thank you for being a part of this campaign.